We're starting off today with the Vince McMahon lawsuit, as more has come to light about the litigation that led to the ex-chairman resigning from WWE last month. Of course, McMahon is named in the lawsuit, as is John Laurinaitis, but Fightful Select reports that there has been heavy speculation about who else Janelle Grant could be referring to. Even those in WWE aren't exactly sure who could come up as the suit proceeds, but one source high up in WWE said they are of the belief that one of them had been long gone from WWE. That same source said that they see Laurinaitis as the fall guy for McMahon, believing that the former GM has been willing to take the heat for McMahon for a cash incentive. That said, the source also stated that with the risk of actual charges being filed, Laurinaitis turned on McMahon, hence why he claimed those in WWE knew of the alleged assault on Ashley Massaro. WWE, and by proxy McMahon, has always claimed that they did not know of the allegations prior to Massaro's 2019 death, but the source shared what they think Laurinaitis' reasoning is, stating, "I'm sure he thinks he's doing himself favors by saying management knew and proper WWE protocols were followed, but too many things happened there under his watch." When Fightful spoke to talent in WWE, it was made clear that they have not been told they can't speak about the allegations and that several superstars have been asked about it. That's why we've seen certain WWE superstars address the allegations, with Seth Rollins stating that if the allegations are true, he hopes everyone involved gets what they deserve. Several other US-based companies have been given the green light to speak about issues or participate in the investigations if they feel comfortable doing so. Fightful also spoke to a former WWE talent who indicated that they're weighing the options of whether to tell their story to the media or whether or not they want to take legal action. It certainly sounds like Janelle Grant won't be the last person to speak out against WWE and McMahon's alleged behavior, as this story continues to rock WWE despite McMahon's exit. Ultimately, we hope justice prevails, whatever that may be, and we'll continue to follow Grant's lawsuit and any potential future lawsuits as this shocking story continues. Whatever the outcome may be, the allegations against McMahon has the wrestling world talking, with several ex-employees distancing themselves from the 78-year-old billionaire. For years, Ted Dibiase worked for McMahon across multiple eras, and on his Everybody's Got a Pod podcast, the $1 Million Man shared his take on the situation. He said, "I don't know, it's just sad. I can't say anything in any other way. It's just sad. I mean, it makes me wonder, what are his children thinking when they read that stuff? It's just sad, man. It's just, leaves me speechless. It's kind of like this. The $1 Million Man is going to say this. There are some things money can't buy, and money cannot buy integrity." It's rather bold of Dibiase to talk about integrity and Vince's children, as Ted himself was part of a massive welfare fraud scheme that robbed the most vulnerable in Mississippi of millions of dollars. That fraud also included both of Ted's sons, with Brett Dibiase pleading guilty to conspiracy to defraud the United States, though Ted has said the case is a bunch of garbage. As for Vince McMahon, his future remains unclear, though given the public PR already surrounding the billionaire, odds are we've seen the last of Vince McMahon in any role in WWE. Next month, AEW will host its Big Business show, which is expected to see the official debut of Mercedes Mone to the promotion. Not too long ago, it was reported that Mone and WWE had been in talks, which broke down over money, as the two sides could not come to terms over how much she would be paid. During the latest installment of Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer spoke about Mercedes' negotiations and refuted the claim that she wanted to be paid far more than any other woman. While Mone did ask for a little bit more than WWE was intending to pay her, it was not more than they pay the likes of Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch, despite what false reports have claimed. It's unclear how much Mone asked for, but on Twitter this week she responded to an emotional post from Bayley, who recalled herself and Mone fighting for the women's tag division and opportunities. Mone responded by telling her friend, "Wait till you see what I'm fighting for next," and whatever that may be, it's practically guaranteed that this fight will happen as an all-elite talent. But what do you make of this? Are you excited about Mone joining AEW, or should she have returned to WWE? Let us know down in the comments. In 2020, Patrick Clark was accused of sending inappropriate messages to a minor, but WWE kept him around, saying their investigation had turned up no proof of misconduct. When the minor in question claimed that WWE never even reached out as part of their investigation, the backlash against Clark only grew, and he was quietly released in 2021. Given the nature of these claims, all of which Clark has denied, many thought this would be the last we'd see of him in the ring, but this week, the former NXT superstar returned to the industry. At an event in Albany, New York for Dynasty Wrestling, Clark appeared as Velveteen Man and interrupted the first match on the show to issue an open challenge. It's certainly a surprise to see Clark back in wrestling, especially as he was arrested twice in 2022, which only hurt his already battered public image with fans. Nevertheless, Clark appeared for Dynasty Wrestling and could be making more appearances for the company in due time, and we'll have to see if more promotions could host the Velveteen Man. When Anthem Entertainment cut Scott D'Amore as TNA's president, it left fans and those in the business unhappy, given how hard D'Amore had worked to help revitalize the company. As former announcer Dave Penzer said, if D'Amore hadn't been there, TNA would have become part of WWE's video library long ago, and this week, a letter was issued to Anthem by the TNA roster. The letter spoke about how much Scott has meant to the TNA family and encouraged Anthem to reconsider, but now this letter is becoming a source of contention for those in TNA. On his Fightful Select Backstage Q&A podcast, Sean Ross Sapp notes that some in TNA were unhappy that the letter was leaked, while some pointed out that this was not a collaborative effort. This letter doesn't necessarily represent everyone in TNA, but it does represent many in the company, as there are a lot of people who are loyal to D'Amore. Scott has been replaced by Anthem's president Anthony Saccone in a move that has only caused more anger, and should Anthem reconsider these moves? Sound off in the comments. Back to WWE, and it was on this week's SmackDown that The Rock joined the Bloodline, as he's now going to be aligned with Paul Heyman, Solo Sikoa, Jimmy Uso, and Roman Reigns. Of course, the NYE wrestling family is far larger than these men, and with The Rock's influence on TKO's board of directors, could a massive free agent be in the lineup to join his family? As pointed out by PWP Nation, The Rock could use his sway on the board to have WWE sign Jacob Fatu, and they went as far as to say that The Rock could sign Fatu without Triple H's prior knowledge. Fatu's name has come up before, with WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi encouraging WWE to sign the Samoan Werewolf, who is first cousins with the Usos and Solo Sikoa. Signing Fatu without Triple H's approval would certainly be a strong move by The Rock, but given their respective positions in TKO, it's something that theoretically would be allowed to happen. Fatu is best known for his MLW run, and at 819 days, boasts the longest reign as MLW World Heavyweight Champion. But could these family ties see him signed to WWE? Time will tell. Over to NXT, and it was in late 2023 that the Gold brand signed Brogan Finlay, the brother of New Japan's David Finlay, and the son of Dave Fit Finlay. With such a family history, expectations are high for young Brogan, who fittingly made his WWE in-ring debut against another multi-generational superstar. At a WWE NXT live event in Tampa this week, Brogan lost to Charlie Dempsey, aka the son of William Regal, and there were no shortage of fights between the two dads over the decades. On Twitter, Brogan told fans to buckle up and welcome them to his era, and it remains to be seen how the fourth-generation wrestler fares in WWE. And we're ending with The Rock, who was cooking on this week's SmackDown and had some choice words for the WWE Universe in Salt Lake City during his promo. The Rock said how the fans had set a Utah attendance record for the largest gathering of trailer park trash he'd ever seen, but it turns out the show actually did break a record. As Fightful Select reports, the show marked the highest gate for any WWE event in Salt Lake City, and the trailer park trash certainly got their money's worth at this week's show.